What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix deadline live stream. It is 4 o'clock in the morning in Germany. I'm ready. Are you ready? Get in the chat. Let me know what is up. Whew. Here we go. 2 hours until it is go time. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me and see me on YouTube because that is where I'm supposed to be. So let's see if I can skip ahead here. Okay, yeah, look, there we work. There we go. Alrighty, let's see what is up. All right, Robert Crow's in the chat saying my team: Norris, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Sainz, Williams, Alpine. Don't hate it, Russell. Don't hate it, man. Gotta wake up. Let's see here. Dean McMullen, B3. Behrman crashed out again in practice. Yeah, I saw that. Kind of getting away from Haas assets here, guys. Robert Crow says, should be reliable to start P20, which may be good for positions gained. 4 p.m., rough day, smiley face. Hey, you know what, Robert? This is one of the only races where you're not going to be doing what I'm doing right now, so I am not going to give you any grief on my end. Brendan Bouquets is in there, said, let's go. Nice guy Drew says, first year of F1 Fantasy and not sure what to do. Well, nice guy Drew, we've got 2 hours to go. Click that, subscribe to the channel real quick, and then go back and watch the how to play game. I think it's about 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes, go away, get out of here, go watch that video, and yeah, come back. Maybe if you still have questions after that, let me know. Nick C713 is here from 2024. What is up, good sir? Hope you are doing well. What shall we... Let's do a poll here, guys. In or out on Haas? Oh, wait, hold on. Smash or pass on Haas? Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta wake up here a little bit, guys. All right. How is everyone doing? Because I am ready. Smash, pass. Let's get the old social medias going here as well. Where are we at? We are live. I guess I'm also live on Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so right now, the plan for the next 2 hours is to, one, try to stay awake. Just kidding. How am I? I'm not going to be able to sleep. This is 2 hours until the deadline for the first race of the season. And then I will... That is a 0, Kevin. It's not an O. But if you go back to one of my YouTube videos, one of like my pre-recorded videos, Kevin, there's a link in the description. If you click that, it should go straight to it. Let me know if you still have problems, and I will try to go to the league, make sure that it's not full. I mean, it's got a lot of people in there, a surprising amount of people, I will admit. But yeah, it shouldn't be full. So let me know if that helps. Raja says, Mark, Ferrari, Doug, Piastri, Ocon, Bortoleto, Hadjar. Merck. Sorry. Merck, Ferrari, Piastri, Ocon, Bortoleto, Hadjar. I'm not sure who Doug is, Raja. So if you can help me out there, that would be awesome. But so far, so good. I like the team. But yeah, there's the league code right above my head. And we got a little bit of a countdown here, which is almost like anxiety inducing. Not entirely sure that I love having that on there, but it is what it is. I'm just going to share this to a couple of group chats here, guys. So let me Get this out of the way. I know there are a couple of other live streams, so I appreciate you guys logging in here. If you have any questions, let me know over the next 2 hours. Happy to help out. Today I am rocking McLaren like I was doing on my emergency episode. Nice guy Drew says, who should I play instead of Haas drivers? I like Doohan, I like Bortoletto, I like Hadjar's pace. If you can get up to Alonso, it's supposed to be kind of a wet race, so we'll see how that's going. Robin says, you're going to make some lineups. I am going to make some lineups. Robin, thank you for asking. We can get into it real quick if you guys want. Let me just answer a couple of questions while the chat is filling up here. Doohan. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Raja. Yeah, I like that lineup. JB says Hulk / Hadjar or Behrman / Bortoletto. Oof. Man, that is tough. I mean, maybe just Bortoletto Hadjar, but that doesn't really answer your question. I'd go Behrman Bortoletto there, JB. I like that. I mean, Behrman's kind of pushing. Could be like at risk of a DNF. I feel like he might be overcompensating a little bit. And it's just kind of tough. First full weekend in F1, but his rookie season, first full season kind of thing. Jack Lynch says, are Ferrari and Avoid? I don't think so. No. I mean, Lewis looked a little bit better in FP2 or FP3 this morning. Looked like he kind of had found something overnight. So I don't think Ferrari and Avoid at all. Should be pretty solid for pit stop points. Robin says Gabrielle or Doohan. I'm going Bortoletto there. I think, as you can see, the data on the screen here, Sauber probably going to be back of the pack. So not bad. Alpine a little bit more in the midfield, always a little bit risky. We'll see how it is. Dean McMullen says, why is Lando more expensive than Max, even though Max won it last year? So, Dean, they based a lot of their prices on preseason testing, and McLaren came out on top in almost every metric. So that's where they went with that. You can kind of see that. I mean, Haas are all weighed down here, which I guess they might deserve to be. But I was kind of hopeful on Haas, and it has not been an encouraging 2 days. 82% of you guys are saying pass on Haas. So do you guys say Haas or Haas? The double A kind of like throws me off, but I'm not entirely sure. I say Haas, but I don't know. Yeah, like, yeah. Anyway, keep going here. Yeah, so they based a lot of their prices on preseason testing, and that's kind of where they went with that, and Lando and McLaren came out on top. I mean, Ferrari was ahead of Red Bull as well, and Max is ahead of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, so they didn't want to price him down too much because it might have been a little bit of a cheat code, but yeah, that's where I think that went. Kevin says that he was... yeah, I tried the link in the previous, but I can see the league and pick my teams, but the join button is grayed out. All right, Kevin, thank you for letting me know. Let's go check this out real quick. I'll make sure that filters... Oh, wait, hold on. F1 penalty pole position. I mean, it shouldn't be grayed out yet, and I don't even think I made it like a... You know, like one of those leagues that you can't join after we start. But let me double check here. Yeah, it says it is unlimited participants, Kevin. So, yeah, sorry about that. That's the only thing I can kind of say. Robert Crow, do you think it's worth avoiding constructors as pit stops are probably slow in the rain today? That's not a bad shout. But I mean, pit stops are going to be fine. I think. I mean, we shouldn't be looking at any sub 2 second pit stops. I think because, I mean, there was like 6, 7 of them last year, so I don't think we should be relying on there. Yeah, so not a bad shout there, though, with the rain, but I don't know. I actually don't really know how much rain would play into pit stops as a factor, like race pace for sure. Nice Guy Drew says, would you go heavy constructors? If you're running 3 teams, you can do a lot of options. If you're running 1 team, I think I would go heavy constructors just as a safety thing. So there you go. Just quick side note, guys, as you can see, 1,761 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, yeah, give us a subscribe. Just hit the like button. That would be a great thing. I would really appreciate that. Brooke Johnson says he needs to start his team first. Oh, there we go. AB Mose, key takeaways from FP3. Merc okay again. Yeah, so I was kind of building the show while watching FP3. So that was a little bit out. It was okay. Like I had it on, but yeah, looking overall, Russell looks good. But today is like really hot. And then tomorrow's going to be cool. So if McLaren joined, or if Mercedes looks good in the heat, that's a little unusual. And they will likely kind of be pretty good tomorrow as well in the cooler temperatures. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. Sorry about that. If you want, I actually do some writing for rotoballer.com. They are a featured league. So if you'd like to go head-to-head with me in that one, click on rotoballer.com as well. They are a featured league. 83% of you guys are saying that you're going to pass on Haas. Raja says, Sainz, Alonso, Ocon, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. I like it. I don't really like... you know what? I'm not sure I like that. Because you don't have any kind of top 4 driver. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that, Kevin. Oh, thank you for that. Coon, look at that. Yes, love that. That's what you get for typing at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's great. So, thank you for pointing that out, Jeff. Appreciate that. Yeah, he's spelled correctly on most of the other slides, but it is what it is. Trevin says, if you're running 1 team, what's your favorite? Merc and Ferrari with Piastri and Phil, or McLaren, Ferrari, and cheaper drivers? Who else are you running with Piastri? Because you should have a little bit more budget. You know what, guys? Let's just get into it here. You guys are just like waiting around here. Let's, I can show you my 3 lineups. So, this is where I'm at. This is my T1 team. I'm running 3 teams this year. So, I've got a little budget team, a little points team, and then I'm hoping that this is my just right team. So, a little Goldilocks going on here. Piastri, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Doohan, McLaren, and Williams. Williams haven't really done anything to convince me that they're not going to be fine this weekend. So that's where I'm at with them. I feel fine with them. I love the double McLaren, and I'm pretty big fan of the double Williams. They've looked good. I'm gonna buy into the hype. The last 3 guys here, I've got a little bit of budget, or I got 1.4 million here. So Bortoleto, Hadjar, Doohan. I might switch that around just depending on what the sims say. But I mean, as you can see, like I'm totally out on Haas right there. So I guess I'm in the pass scenario for Haas right now. Mac says, triple Williams risky. Yeah, triple anything I don't love this early in the season just because it is race 1, Mac. So you can kind of... if anyone plays like NFL fantasy football, like the saying goes, like you can't win your league with your first round pick, but you can lose it. And that's kind of where I'm at with my thinking here. So let's check out. So that's T1. Bortoleto over Hulkenberg. Yeah, because Hulk is a little bit of a 1-lap specialist. And I could see just like... Sauber looked better yesterday on the race.com and stuff. They were saying that the upgrades that they've brought to this race make it look like, maybe I wouldn't say competitive, but at least viable. So, Yeah, it's not bad. It's yeah. Oh yeah, still remember my Josh Doxton pick. Wow, that is a throwback, Fuma86. Thank you. Dean McMullen says, "Are you allowed transfers every week for each Grand Prix?" Yes, sir. You get 2 free transfers every week. Not this week because we've got unlimited transfers, but um, if you roll one, you'll have 3 the next week, and that's the max you can have. Kevin says that he's in the league. Let's go, simply lovely. Thank you, Kevin. Glad to have you in there. And thank you for joining the Rotoballer League as well. Much appreciated there. Yeah, we got our featured league up there with F1. Feels a little bit fancy. Shane says, "You and Hi Pal, it is 03:15 here in Scotland, and I'm fully awake." You know what, Shane? I will be awake after this. Yes. Let's go. Let's get some energy up in here. As you can see, countdown all the way up here. 1 hour and 45 minutes until it is scary time. Actually, it's probably like 1 hour and 42 minutes until it's scary time because I'm really trying not to brick myself with 2 minutes to go in the deadline. Want to make sure I haven't missed anything here. So Kevin's in the chat. Hunter says, "I think Williams is crazy cheap for what they are." I agree. The more I'm thinking about it, I mean, I had my team selection video on Wednesday. What day is it? I don't know. My body probably thinks it's Friday. But yeah, I was pretty good on like heavy constructor, but just seeing, I mean, they've proven enough to me on Friday that I think it's okay. I think it's a-okay to go with Williams this week. I really don't mind it. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. I was trying to post a little tiki talker thing here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, so continue. Shane says, "Red Bull, that's a sign." Jack Lynch says, "McLaren and Ferrari, a good strategy with Sainz 2X." Oh, that might be a little bit too risky for me, Jack. I mean, you're going to get a ton of points in McLaren and Ferrari. Not bad at all. Don't hate that. But not having a tier A driver is a little bit scary. I haven't done a pricing algorithm video yet, guys, because I was trying to do one yesterday at lunch and time just got away from me. So I actually ended up just doing an emergency team selection video, which I'm pretty sure I ended up close to this lineup. All the videos have blended together at this point. And so it's the algorithm is, and I did have a slide for that. Once we get through this weekend, I will do a proper pricing video on what has happened, because we'll actually have some evidence of what is happening, because it's all just kind of theory based right now, although all the data is saying that it lines up. F1 Fantasy Tools Discord is a fantastic resource, and actually, you know what? If you use... Did that work? It should have worked, but... Oh, it's because this is on top of it here. Let's see here. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's try this again. If you use promo code UN50, you can get 50% off at F1 Fantasy Tools for their Patreon for their first month. So highly recommend it. I use it all the time. I'm subscribed. And yeah, it's some fantastic stuff. You can just like link your teams in there. They give you the team calculator, or just link. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be on autopilot, that's where you want to go for the entire season. Kevin says, "Is the price algorithm confirmed?" In theory, it is confirmed, but we will not know until after this weekend's race, Kevin. So that's kind of the thing. So what they're doing right now is it's a 3-race average. So what they're doing for Australia is the points plus 0, because there's no 3 races, and then you take the price of your driver, times that by 3, and that gives you a points per million value. Then they've got it like kind of scheduled into little buckets. So if your driver is over 0.4 points per million, you're going to get a great score, or a great price increase, which means that you will go up. If you have an A tier asset, you'll go up 0.3, and if you have a B tier asset, you'll go up 0.6, and it kind of corresponds all the way down. And if your driver is below 0.2 points per million, that's what we're calling a terrible race. and you're going to get negative 0.3 on your A tier assets and negative 0.6 on your B tier assets. So the prevailing theory right now is, Kevin, that the B tier assets are going to go down for at least one race, while the A tier assets are going to go up. Just because it's easier for them to score points, they're going to finish higher in the standings, get more points, 25 points for race win, 18 points for second, all that fun stuff, overtakes, blah, 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 blah. Whereas the B tier assets will struggle. However, after the third race in Japan, in like 4 weeks or whatever, there's going to be massive inflation. And that's where we're kind of still a little like, are we sure this is right? Because it just seems like it might be a little bit wrong for the game, like long-term kind of stuff. So that's where we're at, Kevin. I'm trying to explain it as best as I can in words because I don't have anything written down yet. But once we get the confirmed pricing algorithms, like on Sunday or Monday, whenever we get the prices fully confirmed, there will be a video on the channel. Next week is going to be pretty busy as well. So make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, I'm going to go back up here. I think I've missed some questions. So where are we at? Kevin joined the league. Shane said Red Bull, that's a sign. Mr. Iceman being very supportive this week. Thank you, Mr. Iceman, for all your comments. Hi all. Hunter, you're absolutely right. They should have been 15 to 60 million free budget gains, so I won't complain. Yep. Shane says, I prefer Merc over Williams. I think FP3 is clouding our thoughts. George and Kimmy look on it. Yeah. I can see going Merc. I can see it. Kevin Olker says, tough choices this year. I went for Ferrari, Mercedes, Piastri doing Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, and Hadjar. BOT, that used to be Bottas. You nearly had me saying Bottas on the screen, and now I am. So, Fuma says, if Lawson and Antonelli struggle, Williams can suddenly get 7 and 8. I mean, Lawson had like a power unit issue in FP3, Fuma. So, yeah, I'm thinking that he might have a rough weekend, and then we're going to get the Tsunoda to Red Bull instantly. Like, if anyone watches or listens to P1 with Matt and Tommy, I'm assuming their first question will be, well, first of all, it'll be championship back on, or championship off, depending on how the weekend goes. And then it'll be, is Liam Lawson under pressure from Tsunoda? And that'll be the question. Rach says, if there's one thing I've learned from last season, if a team performs in P1, P2, and P3, they've got it. It goes against my gut, but I think Williams is where it's at. Let's go, Rach. Let's go. So, yes. Robin says, how do we feel about Lawson? Actually, I just said how I feel about Lawson. Not great. Was looking at him earlier in the week, but yeah, not so much anymore. Fuma says, Williams did some pretty good lap times on hard tires before their soft run. Saw that too. So very interested there. On the screen right now, guys, is my T1 team. We'll go into the T2 team in a little bit. Kevin says, price algorithm confirmed. We just talked about that. Nice guy, Drew. What's your recommended drivers with a Piastri, Ferrari, and Mercedes build? Let's go find out. Let's go build that with you, Peter, because we have 1 hour and 30 minutes to kill. So if I can get the new streaming service to work, that would be fantastic. Fantabby doozy. Here we go. Where are we at? There we go. I want to interact with you. Manage team. Scroll. So you said, hold on. What did you say, Peter? It wasn't Peter. Oh, nice guy, Drew. Sorry. Piastri, Ferrari, and Mercedes. All right. Piastri, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Let's do this, gentlemen. Let's help out nice guy, Drew, because that is my dad's name. I'm assuming that's not my dad. He would not be up at 3:24 in Aberdeen watching me do F1 Fantasy. Very supportive fella, but not that supportive. So great job by him. Drivers. All right. So we've got 27.2 for you here, nice guy, Drew. So you're looking at an average of not a lot. So definitely gonna give you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Bortoletto right there. I'm not sad about Hadjar either. So this gives you 15 million to play with. Is there a chance? 0.2 short of getting Alonso in. That's a bummer. Okay, that's okay. We can adjust. I really don't want to put Lance Stroll in your lineup, nice guy Drew. But you could get some budget here. I mean, Behrman might just start P20. And then you've got 8.3. Maybe Doohan. He's looked okay. So, I mean, this is pretty much my lineup, but you have better constructor. I guess I have Williams and Sainz, and you would have Ferrari and Behrman. So I guess that's where I'm at, nice guy Drew. Let me know what you think about that lineup. Sorry, everybody. Let's interact and scroll up. All right. Shall we move on to the T2 team here? This is the points team. Well, also the budget team. No, this is the points team. No, this is the budget team. Sorry. T2 here. Look at this lineup. This is kind of pretty, except it's got triple Haas. Don't like that all that much. But yeah, let me know if that helped out, nice guy Drew, and give it a like. Peter Kavanaugh, hello from New York, and I have 7 blank spots and no closer to locking anything in. Let me know what you're thinking, Peter. We can do this together. I'm happy to build lineups with everybody. Shane says, join the league. Make sure to give the stream a like, please, y'all. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it. Do you know if the F1 Fantasy website will be updated again before the deadline? What do you mean by updated, Mac? Does everyone else also have, I would definitely download the F1 app, because I cannot seem to manage my T2 or my T3 teams on the website. It does not seem to like that. So let me know. Brendan says, why not try to run Max this weekend? Because it's going to rain and he is a genius in wet conditions. Correct. Brendan, don't mind it. I think it's a little, I don't know. I'm just not ready to go there yet. I'm hoping, I'm not entirely sure. Let me go check the F1 Fantasy Discord, guys. Let's see. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get... Okay, Ryder said we're going to get... about an hour after end of FP3. So in the next 5 minutes, guys, we should get some new sims. So that's exciting. So because of that, I'm going to go back to this slide just for a little bit, because this will be the last time that this data is correct. And then I won't want to go there, because then also I have a spelling there of Ocon, which is not great. But yeah, Mac, let me know what you're thinking about the F1 Fantasy website by updating. Brandon is, Max, tempting, but he just hasn't been in my thoughts this week. Red Bull, they obviously have made some changes overnight because Max was kind of up there. But in the heat, are they a temperature team? Are they just the opposite of Mercedes, I guess? Like, they're doing well in the heat, whereas Mercedes will do well in the cool? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking is right there. Anti-hypothesis says, Merck, McLaren, Russell ×2, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Doohan. I like it. I like it a lot. McLaren, big fan of McLaren. Russell ×2. Looking strong, looking pretty solid. Had a couple of offs yesterday in FP2. Hadjar, like him. Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Doohan. Double kick is a little... but I'm not entirely sure. You might be maxed out on your budget there, so you might just have to run Hulkenberg. 25.3, that's the magic number for the 4 cheapest drivers, everybody. So if you want the 4 cheapest drivers, 25.3, you've got 74.4 left. 74.7 left to do that. Mr. Iceman says, cheers, mate. Loving the content. Thank you. It's been a busy week, but it has been a lot of fun. Rach says, I might be insane, but I'm tempted to go for a wild differential and do Mercedes, Williams, Piastri, Russell, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. Well, this will be the last time. Say bye to the outdated data, everybody. This will be going soon. Let's go back to this. And now I gotta scroll back down on this one. Interact. So Rach, let's check it out here. Oh, this really, I'm gonna have to fix this, but regardless, the T2 team was quite differential. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Anti-hypothesis says, I'm kind of running behind a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like that, Rach. Shane says, when I'm watching Tech Talk at the end of FP3, he was, or Toto Talk, he was asked about any more power to turn up. He tripped over his words, so think they have more to give. Bill says, letting my Alpine fan bias influence me too much. I'm going with McLaren plus Alpine, Russell, Gasly, Sainz, Ocon, Bortoletto, 1.3 million in the bank. I'm not sure about Ocon though now after Haas practice. Yeah, Haas are scary, man. Like that's not good. Like I was kind of willing to give them a pass on testing because they said that they were working on the operational stuff and they didn't really care about long runs, but now they've missed out on doing any qualifying. Like they didn't do any qualifying runs in testing. Behrman's been out of FP2 and FP3, so they've just been relying on Ocon, and just the vibes are off. I don't know. Look, I was gonna wear my Haas cap. If my hair gets any greasier, I might have to put it on anyway. But I don't know. Yeah, I've even been building my Haas Lego this week, and this is actually just like a live shot of Ollie Behrman's car, just no wheels. Like this might be what it looks like after the Grand Prix tomorrow, which would be sad because I have high hopes for Ollie Behrman as an F1 driver. But it's not looking great there. But Bill, I like that. I like that lineup. Trevor says, would you take Ocon, Bortoletto, or Behrman, or Ocon? So one of those four, Trevin? Sorry, let me know in the comments. I think if I was to rank them for F1 fantasy purposes, I'd probably go Bortoletto, Behrman, Ocon, Hulkenberg. That would be my ranking there. Bobbit says, thoughts on our risky Antonelli 2X, both Williams, Duhan, Hadjar, McLaren, and Williams. Don't hate it at all. Antonelli looked pretty solid in FP3. Bobbit, so I don't mind that at all. Anti-hypothesis was backing up Rach's lineup. Like it. Kevin says, Williams makes me nervous. If you check the race pace data, they are still fifth. Dark horses, a lot of unknowns all around. What would Leaper 1 do? Yeah, we need to get that on a license plate, right? Like WWLFD. What would Leaper's Frog do? He has been tremendously helpful figuring out the pricing algorithm as well. So, but as soon as those sims are up, guys, we will go to F1 Fantasy Tools and we will look at them together. So make sure to stick around. Let's see here. So Kevin, I agree that I'm a little bit nervous about Williams as well. We can talk about this a little bit. Let's put up a new poll, shall we? I gotta end this poll. 87% of you are passing on the Haas. So new poll here, guys. Let's get some votes here. Are you trusting the Williams hype? Because I am. I'm in. I am trusting Williams. 87%. I don't know how to pin things. This is all it's all new to everybody here. But yes, let me know if you are trusting Williams. Where am I? Yeah, so Williams looked strong in testing. They looked strong on Friday. They looked strong in FP3. all the other teams have kind of been up and down. And I think it's just a little bit of 2024 bias. Like, it was rough to own a Williams asset in 2024. But it's a new year. We got a smooth operator in Carlos Sainz. We got Alex Albon with a little like undercut, looking pretty cool. He was trying to actually build a legit F1 fantasy team. Poor Alex, thinking he was still cheap. He's 12 million now. 12 million. Haven't seen Alex Albon in a lot of lineups, by the way. So that's interesting. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with Williams. I believe them. And 78% of y'all believe in them as well. Anti-hypothesis says, my T3 is Merc/Will, Williams, Verstappen ×2, Hadjar, Duhan, Sainz, Alonso. Robert Crow says, could be worth autopilot on your tier 2 team. I was thinking that, Robert. When I built that lineup, I was like, is there going to be a lot more like better opportunities or like more unknown races when you've got 3 of the assets in your team? But yeah, I don't know. Trevor Hahn says you should change your T2 team for sure. I'm trying to. So the T1 team, that's the global team. That's the team that I want to, do really well. And then I'm just trying out some other stuff because I feel like it'll help y'all. It'll help me as like a content creator to, like have all these different variations and be like, okay, like we've got this, we've got that. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. This is annoying. But yeah, like just doing different kinds of lineups will help me help y'all, because if you guys go with a points lineup or a budget lineup, like I can help you out. So the T1 team is kind of like my team. T2 team is going to be the points building team, and T3 will be the budget building team or whatever. So I think I'm going to stick with it, Trevin, but that's fine. Like that's just what I'm doing. It's mostly to hopefully help everybody out in the future. So there we go. Nick Thomas says Ocon, Duhan, Hadjar, and Bortoleto. You got to do what you got to do. You got to fit that in your budget. Nice Guy Drew says, thank you for the lineup suggestion. What does F1 Fantasy Tools says is the best? Should we just go over to F1 Fantasy Tools? Here we are. F1 Fantasy Tools. We've got an Australia post FP2 sim in there right now. So we're just going to keep that there. But here's the top 5 teams. Not too bad. Michael Fearman says, hey guys, it's live stream madness tonight. Yes, it is. I believe, I'm doing a live stream. I know Rob's doing a live stream. I know F1 Fantasy, or the Fantasy Formula is going live in 22 minutes. I know Pop Pan Man is also coming out of nowhere to do a live stream as well. So that will be fun. So while I hope you guys stick around, there's plenty of fantastic content out there. If you want to switch around, if you don't like my answer, maybe one of the other guys will give you an answer that you'll like. So we'll see. Robin says, so we like Alonso this weekend. It's tough because we're all kind of, expecting a wet race on Sunday. But it's like, I've also seen stuff that it's like going to be like starting to be a dry, like it could be drying during the race, like that kind of thing as well. So that's where we're at. Like if it's a drying track, it could be like, sure, Alonso looks good for the first 20 laps. And then if it gets dry and Aston Martin is sinking like a stone, like that could be bad news bears. So I'm still finding it hard to trust Aston Martin. If you risk it for the biscuit, good for you. But yeah, I'm just kind of I'm not there either. See, look at this monstrosity going on here. Fuma86 says, what do you think about Verstappen, Alonso, Ocon, Hadjar, Bortoleto with McLaren and Williams for a potential rain team? Verstappen, Alonso, that's a very good rain team. Ocon's been all right in the rain. Hadjar and Bortoleto, 2 rookies Hadjar won here last year in F2, and Bortoleto, I believe, had the fewest amount of DNFs in F2 last year amongst drivers who had at least 18 races. So it's pretty, like, it might be safe. I think Behrman's going to be pushing because he's going to be disappointed in what he's done the last 2 days. So, and we saw that he didn't cope too well with the rain in Brazil. I mean, not a lot of people did, but Behrman especially was like, I feel like they cut to him like 5 or 6 times on the F1 broadcast, and he was like in the grass, like spun around. So that plus the fact that he'll be wanting to make a great first impression, I feel like he might be pushing, and it might not go so hot for him. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, I like that team, Fuma. Max says, I meant to ask if they will change the expected points and expected price changes now we've had FP3. Yes, it should be coming very soon. Like I said, as soon as I get the notification that pops up, we will go to F1. Well, we will refresh F1 Fantasy Tools, and we will go there. Peter Kavanagh coming back. Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Stroll, Hulkenberg, McLaren, and Williams, I think, is my team. Chef's kiss, Peter. Well done. Little snaps for you. What is that show? There's like a show that does the little... I don't remember what it is. Someone let me know in the chat what that is. Trevin says, yes, one of those 4. There we go. Whoa. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thoughts on no negative this weekend? There's so many unknowns with all the rookies. So I played the no negative here last year, even though it was dry, and it saved me like 20 points because I had Verstappen in my squad, or I had Red Bull in my squad. With the potential rain, with 5/6 rookies, however you look at it, on the grid, there may not be a better time to play no negative. And that is A-okay. However, I'm just like a little apprehensive about using a chip in the first weekend. Like, there could be some massive chaos coming along, and it's really nice to have those chips in your back pocket. So if you feel strongly about no negative, I'm not going to tell you no, because it is in the back of my brain to play it, especially with like the potential weather and stuff. But I would maybe try and save it if you can stomach the risk. Brooke Johnson says, big yes, love Sainz. John McDonald says, I trust Sainz, not Albon. Yeah, it's tough. That's why I don't love the triple Williams lineup. But we'll see. Mateus Varela says, what do you think about Piastri, Russell, Doohan, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Merck, and Williams? I like it. I'm in on the McLaren, I'm in on the Williams hype. Russell is nice as well. I didn't realize you could fit Piastri, Russell, Mercedes, and Williams. I like that a lot. Doohan, Hulkenberg, Hadjar. I would even maybe go from Hulkenberg down to Bortoleto, Mateus, just because I think Bortoleto is going to qualify pretty low and then get some positions gained tomorrow. As we can see, hold on. Please work. As we can see, here we go. Thank goodness. Over here on the expected points. So Bortoleto, we're talking 0.6 versus 0.2 points in the post FP2 simulation. So like, you don't have to worry too much about that, but like Hulkenberg is going to fall 0.38. Like we're talking about, the cheaper assets are likely going to fall a little bit. So that's where we're at there. We go down to the constructors here. As you can see, Williams 21.4. Not bad. And then, yeah, Piastri. You know, I'm sitting here at 444 with an hour and 16 minutes to go. And I'm just remembering that last year I was also going with a cheaper constructor. And I got screwed by VCarb last year because I believed in them as a baby constructor. Although the pricing is kind of, okay, no, try not to tilt too much. Sammy Valencia says, I trust Williams, and that's why I will use Sainz's 2X with McLaren and Ferrari. Oh, snap, Sammy. That is a spicy lineup. Very, very spicy lineup. Trevin Hone, do you like the T1 team more, or do you like the Merc Ferrari with Piastri team? Also, your T2 will show how you can salvage a mess with Haas. yeah, we'll see how it goes, Trevin. I like the T1 team more. That's kind of what head plus heart combo says, and that's where my T1 team has ended up. And then there's a stats team, and then there's a budget team for T2 and T3 as well. So I'm trying to be a little bit more strategic, more helpful in my F1 Fantasy content creation this season. So hopefully if everyone goes a different route, I can relate a little bit, because that will help me kind of put myself in your shoes for China next week. Speaking of China, Traveled Bone says, no one is planning ahead. China is next week, and Limitless will likely be the play, with budget extremely limited at this time. What's the best team now to have to set up for gains as team remains the same? So there's two things there, Traveled Bones. First of all, great point. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for supporting the channel. Subscribe, smash that like, as every YouTuber is contractually obligated to say. So with the budget, I'm a little bit in two minds here, because if we were on the 2024 budget, I would totally agree, because there are going to be huge budget gains coming up, right? We could anticipate that someone's going to rise 1 million, Lewis Hamilton would be going up 1 million, all that fun stuff. But a lot of teams are expected to lose value this week, as we can see here if we go to the F1 Fantasy Tools page. Look at all these expected price rises, right? Ocon 0.3, 0.11, 0.1. But look at all these people that are expected to lose budget, right? And with losing budget, and then even over here in constructors, Alpine, okay, so we've got some risers here. A lot of risers in the constructors, because it's pretty hard for a constructor to score below whatever the threshold is going to be, 0.4. So that's not a bad play. But I'm thinking that we don't know the true running of the grid yet. Bahrain is a pretty good test track, but Melbourne is a street track. And it kind of puts us on... whoever looks strong this weekend may not look strong in China. And last year, China was the third, fourth, fifth race, if I remember correctly. So we had a little bit of time to figure out who looked good and who looked bad. But right now, we're having 3 practice sessions, a qualifying, 1 Grand Prix, then 1 practice in China next week with a sprint qualifying. And we have to decide on the most powerful chip in the game. So that's why I'm not totally sold on even using Limitless in China yet. I might save it for Miami. Also, if the budgets, if there's this exponential inflation after the third race where everyone is going up, this could be a season where we don't even have to play the Limitless chip until later in the season. I know that maybe goes against the conventional thinking, but I feel a little uncertain about using one of the two. I think Limitless is probably the strongest chip in the game. I feel just too uncertain about using the strongest chip in the game on the second race where we don't really know all of the running. So that's where I'm at. With that, however, to answer your second question, that now that my little soapboxy thing with the Limitless chip is over, is what's the best team now to have to set up for gains as the teams remain the same? So, I mean, if you're risking it for the biscuit, then you just got to go with the ultimate budget building team for this week and then just hope that it happens again next week. So let's help you out here. Let's go check this out. There is something mad funky going on with this today, but that's okay. Expected price gains. So here you go, Traveled Bones. Aston Martin, Haas as your constructors, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Ocon, Behrman. That is my T2 team on, where do we go? F1.com. Let me get that here. There we go. Oh, it's back. Yay. So that is my team right there, Traveled Bones. That's my T2 team. So I'm kind of going with, like I said, I have a budget building team. I have a points team. This is directly from the F1 Fantasy Tools website. One, because it's fantastic and I love it. And I'm on there all the time. That's what I use for like my content creation, all that, where I get most of my fun stats and stuff like that. But that is my lineup to budget build. Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Aston Martin, Haas. Now, I'm expecting these FP3 sims to kind of come out and change that a little bit. Let's check. Still waiting. I'm not sure if you guys can hear my stomach rumbling. It is very loud. But let's go back. So that's where I'm at, Traveled Bones. But great question. Thanks for asking it. It was a good discussion. Hopefully that helped. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Isaac George, I don't understand why you wouldn't put Williams as a constructor. I have Williams as a constructor in my T1 team. Isaac George. Let me, goodness gracious. I'm all over the map today, guys. I'm starting to fade. I might need to crack open, have a little bit more Red Bull here. Piastri, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Doohan. There is the T1 squad, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where I'm at. Brendan says they're supposed to get 11 millimeters of rain, which is quite a lot. I agree. Legally Blonde. The snaps, is that what we're talking about? Okay. Isaac George, Piastri, Albon, Sainz, Bortoleto, Sonoda, Williams, Mercedes. I like it. I don't love the triple Williams. I gotta say, like, I'm double Williams, and I already feel like I'm like in over my skis a little bit with Williams. So you're going triple Williams? Eek. A little bit scary. Like I said, guys, league code, hit it up. Let's get more people in the league there. Would be hunky-dory. Bob is your uncle. Let's go check it out. How many people do we have? We got 5,000 teams in that league, guys. Can we crack 6 before the deadline? I don't know. The Rotoballer League, rotoballer.com, is where I'm doing all my writing. So up there, I've got a race preview every week, a written race preview, and a predicted finishing order. If you guys are ever interested in stuff like that, go check that out on rotoballer.com. There's like a nice little F1 tab, and you can join the league as well. Just search for Rotoballer. It's on the featured leagues. Robin says, other than McLaren, who's another good constructor? And if you had a dark horse, who would it be? Great question, Robin. Thank you for asking it. Where are you? Here you are. Other than McLaren, okay, in the top 4, Ferrari. Like, that's where I'm at. Ferrari look good. Leclerc looks good. He was talking about a little bit of understeer in the car here in FP3, which is a little bit concerning, but Hamilton looked stronger in FP3. He looked like he was pretty confident in the car. So that gives me a little bit more hope in Ferrari as well. Not that I didn't have a lot of hope, but like I feel better with them. And the dark horse is Williams. I mean, they look strong in testing. They look strong on Friday. They look strong on Saturday. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with Williams. Jack Lynch says, thoughts on Hulk or Bort? I am Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Bortoleto. So that's where I'm at. Bortoleto over Hulkenberg, because Hulkenberg can pull a lap out of his diffuser and kind of stick a car P14, P13, and that's just disastrous for that Sauber. So Bortoleto, I feel like he's not going to get out Q1. So I would go Bortoleto. We want our bad drivers to go out in Q1 so we score points on Sunday with them rather than lose points. Robert Crow says, Sammy Valencia, but 2x will score constructor at McLaren. Ben Staples, do you think Stroll could be a strong asset for value in the Aston? I think I think we can probably wait and see on Aston. They do look better than they did in testing, slightly. But I'm still not ready to trust them. They've had a pretty quiet weekend so far, which is good. Like, for Aston Martin, you kind of want them to have a quiet weekend. It is what it is. So, like, that's where we're at. But, yeah. Still not a huge Lance Stroll fan. Mr. Ebon says, I think K1 thing is for certain. Gotta drop Haas constructors and drivers. Yeah. I think once these sims come out, I'll probably edit that T2 team to get the Haas's out of my lineup, but we'll see where we can go. Stroll is awful, though. Robert says, Stroll looks like he's going to qualify well, which is not good enough since he won't be fast enough for points and not a lot of upside. I agree. I think Aston will probably sink. Good point by you, Robert. Nixie says, VCARB PTSD. I know. Just like flashed through my head. I was like, I'm doing it again. I'm doing the same thing that I did in 2024. But I don't know. It feels good. Vibes. A little bit of vibes, but that's okay. Robert Crow, I still think Haas could be okay if they qualified 19 and 20. Yes. I like Sainz. Luke Andrews says, I like Sainz, but not really Williams. Williams greater than Alpine or Racing Bulls. Oh, but you don't like Williams greater than Alpine or Racing Bulls. Fair enough. Another kind of pro in the racing or the Williams column is like, I like their driver lineup better than Alpine or Racing Bulls. Like, you'd say that out of those 6 drivers, let's rank those 6 drivers real quick. Out of Williams, Alpine, and Racing Bulls, it would be Sainz, Gasly, Albon, Tsunoda, Doohan, Hadjar. Maybe the last 2 you could kind of convince me that Hadjar's somehow already better than Doohan, but you never know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that ranking. Is it worth tanking some points this week to gain more budget for the layer raises? So I'm kind of trying to be on the fence with this, Sammy, if I'm being honest, because like, as you can see with this T1 team, I've got some points upside with Piastri and McLaren. I've got some budget building upside with Williams and Sainz. And then the B tier assets, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Doohan. I'm not entirely sure where that is all going. So like the T1 team is kind of sitting on the fence. I'm trying to not... I'm not doubting the pricing algorithm that has been cracked from the F1 Fantasy Tools guys. Like, they've nailed it. They've crushed it. It's been fantastic. But I'm a little bit worried that the game will realize what they've done and maybe change the pricing algorithm. Like 2 or 3 races into the season, be like, oh, we've biffed it. And then it's like, okay, but if you scored a bunch of points, now you're at an advantage. So this T1 team is kind of fence sitting. Like, my butt is sore because I'm sitting on the fence a little bit. So that's where I'm at with that lineup. Robert says, Limitless probably good if your budget growth forecast is good for race 2. Otherwise, you can't. Let's see here. Let's see. Where is everybody? Thank you for filling up the chat, everybody. It has been fantastic. We are at 1 hour and 1 minute away from the deadline. I've probably already woken up my wife and my cats, but if I didn't, and then I played the air horn thing on here, that would probably definitely do it. So I'll try not to do that this time. Let's see here. Where is everybody watching from? Let me know. Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull, where are you at in the world? I am currently in Germany. It is about to strike 5 a.m. I know we got a couple of Scots in here, so they are even up earlier than me. If my brother isn't watching in Texas, I'll be mad at him. So that's 11 p.m. right now in Texas because they sprung forward last week. But let me know in the chat. And let's see, while I kind of catch up here. Oh! 4 minutes ago. I guess I should have caught up in the chat earlier. Hey, oof. Let's see. Sims are out! Thank you, Sensen. Let's go check them out, shall we? Whoa! Hello. Wait a minute. Am I a template Timmy now? McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Ocon, Hadjar. Crap! I thought it was so cool going with McLaren Williams. That was real hipster, like picking McLaren back in 2019, which I did. By the way, just want to throw. I'm not a front-running jerk, but here we are. We got some Sims, people. Sorry, I don't want to miss any questions. So I'm just gonna kind of. Why still trust Haas? I wouldn't. Starting in the back can mean little downside. Correct, Robert. Piastri, Antonelli, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hadjar, and then either Ferrari, Sauber. No Sauber. No Sauber, Mac. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. No, me no likey. What's your third team for those, and who's in it? Let me scroll down, let me just go through these simulations here, Gavin, real quick. And I will get you there. Robin, Sims, Big Boss, Ferrari, Mercedes, Piastri, Ocon, Duhan, Hulkenberg, Hadjar. Thoughts? Good to go. Sauber doesn't look like tractor. Yeah, they don't look like a tractor, but yeah, it's okay. Ocon or Stroll instead of Duhan on your team. 3 rookies. I don't know. Great point, Mateus. I might move up to Stroll. I don't think I can. Maybe I'll move up to Ocon. This team doesn't have signs in it. That's kind of interesting. Can anyone join that Discord to see the Sims? Yes, I believe everyone can join the F1 Fantasy Tools Discord. You might have to make an account or something, but if you would like to have access to their premium features, I don't know if I have the promo code UN50, 50% off the first month. And I think it's probably half a cup of coffee. I'm not entirely sure how much a cup of coffee costs in y'all's part of the world. In Europe, it's very nice. You get a bang up cup of joe, and it's $3. And then you go to Starbucks on King Street down here, Königstrasse. That's what they call it here in Germany. It's €8. No, thank you. So you just go to a mom and pop store and you get this amazing cappuccino or latte macchiato, and it's $3. It's amazing. Nice guy Drew. Why do you keep Duhan in T1 instead of upgrading Stroll? I might do that. Sammy, those Sims are not good until they figure it out. Who's on your third team and what's it for? Love the content. Thank you, Gavin. Do you recommend risking it and taking a crazy risk of Russell ×2, Bortoleto, Sainz, Duhan, Fernando with McLaren and Williams? If you get 1 million, you can swap Russell Piastri. I like that, Trevin. Go for it. What do you think about Ferrari Mercedes constructors? I'm on the fence about it because Mercedes could be bang up awesome this weekend, but it's a little bit risky. Oh, Christian. Yes, I liked it. Why Hadge over Hulk? Because I think Hulkenberg is going to be able to pull that Sauber up possibly into Q2, and then it's going to sink like a stone on Sunday, despite it looking a little bit better. I'm ready to be wrong. Sauber could be this year's Haas, and Haas could be last year's Sauber, for all I know, because, yeah, that's where we're at in F1 right now. The field is so close that, these minimal gains can, totally shake up the grid. And, yeah, Haas are a little scary right now. Okay, Sauber race pace, no good. Peter Kuruklis. Sorry. I like to get pronunciations right. My last name is a little difficult as well. Thoughts on the lineup of Behrman, Piastri, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Ferrari, Williams. You should have a little bit more budget to play with there, right, Peter? So, yeah. But I don't mind it. I like Bortoleto. I like Hadjar. Behrman, they are saying that his car should get out for qualifying. That's what Ruth Buscom-Divey was saying on F1 TV. So I don't mind that at all. But yeah, that's where we're at. Sims are out. Sydney, Chicago. Oh, whoa, sorry. Sydney, Chicago, Finland, Melbourne, Miami, UK, Ireland, Vancouver, London, Virginia, Albon on it. New Sims, the new drop. Whoa, that's high. Albon over Sainz is wild. Sandbag from Lewis, Lando, and Lawson inflating Williams' projections? Possibly, Wesley. Yeah, because I did see that Lando like pulled out of his lap. He was up like 4/10 up or something on his flying lap at the end. So that's where we're at. We are 30 subs away from 1,800, guys. So if you have not subbed, just do it. Then you can mute me for all I care. But would love the 1,800 subs. And also tomorrow, I know it's a lot to commit to, but tomorrow, 1 hour after the Grand Prix, we'll be doing like a little cool down room session for 30, 45 minutes to an hour. We'll be reviewing the race. We'll be looking at some points, some budget projections and stuff like that. Just taking a little bit more of a chilled look at F1 Fantasy's first weekend. So hopefully you guys can join me there and check it out, because I will be hanging out after the race, which, yeah, might need to go to the store and get another Red Bull if I'm doing that after waking up a little bit early. Dominican Republic, Toronto, what is up, everyone? Really appreciate you guys being in the chat. If you don't want to subscribe, all you can do, just a like. A like is fine. You don't have to tell me to your F1 Fantasy friends or whatever if you don't. So don't worry about it. But a simple like, just a thumbs up would be fantastic, because it just really helps me out. Stroll over Alonso in the rain. LOL. Sims always rate Lando behind Piastri. That would be something interesting to look at. The price situation is messing the whole thing. Should I just copy whatever F1 Fantasy Tool says is the best team? I mean, nice guy Drew, you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, they usually finish in the top 5,000, 10,000. Like, they have a very good team usually, and the Sims don't always go wrong. I was talking in a F1 Fantasy group chat last night, and if you guys play FPL, you know there's this whole thing like grass versus data FC, and I'm hoping that we get a little like track versus Sims FC this season, just because of the pricing and stuff like that. Because Williams looks strong on track. I mean, the Sims kind of back it up too. But yeah, I would love if we get like a more engaged community, get some more debates rocking around the F1 Christmas tree. Gabrielle says, play safe or build budget. Why not both? Because that's kind of what that T1 team is doing right here, right? McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Hadjar. It's a little bit of both. Albon and Stroll, or Sainz and Bartoletto. You got to go with the smooth Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle right there. Nice guy, Drew. Sainz, the smooth operator. Bortoletto, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Peter chimes back in. I got about 4 million left over my team. Might just replace Behrman. The lack of practice is now scaring me. I agree, Peter. That's where I'm at as well. So, all right, guys. Whew. Whew. 50 minutes to go. Are you guys ready? We're in the final stretch. I'm going to take a bite of my apple, because I'm not sure if you heard my stomach grumbling on the stream. So I apologize. Okay. New poll. Oh, okay. 50 minutes to go. Move that over a little bit. Okay. Piastri and Stroll. Or Russell and Alonso. Great question. Whew. Okay. So Piastri, 33.5 points. Yeah, the Sims love Piastri. Piastri plus Stroll is going to give you 36.6 points. Alonso, only 1.4 more. The Sims say Piastri, Peter. So that's what I would probably do this as well. Or paper cranes, sorry. Robin, do we like Kimi this weekend? I like him. I don't know if I love him. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be going there. Let's check this out. I can like it. Look at that. Let's end this poll. Let's see, what were the results here? Are you trusting the Williams hype? 69% yes. 30% no. Fair enough. What shall we do here? 50 minutes to go. 50 minutes to go. I do like Kimi, Robin. I don't know if the Sims really like him that much. Shall we go look real quick? You know what? Let's go over to the old Twitterverse here real quick. Let's see what people are talking about on the Twitter. I've got, this is just the hashtag for F1 Fantasy. Oh, look, it left. Where did it go? Did not like that. Okay, so now I'm just blank over here. Oh, now it's back over here. I'm confused. Oh, Rain Fantasy has given us his team selection. Team selection locked in. Haas are bad, but I can't get away from Ocon, hoping he can make up some lost time in the rain and not DNF with a mechanical issue. Williams tempting, but I have them covered in Team 2. So Mr. Rain Fantasy has gone with Piastri, Ocon, Duhan, Hadjar, Bortoleto with Ferrari and Mercedes. Yeah, Pop Pan Man is streaming right now. Let's see. F1 Fantasy Tools saying that the Sims are coming. I'm saying that we are live. So there's not a lot of movement right now. Mike F is over here. I'm going around in circles, or I'm just trying many different. So that's where we're at. Salima Ferrari says, you can send me your team on TikTok. That's fine. I can log in over there. I'm not sure. Maybe you already have. Let's see. Yeah, if you comment on my last video, Salima, I will hit you up with that. All right, back over to F1 Fantasy Tools, guys. Let's see. Quick word on Piastri, ×2, Russell, Hadjar, Duhan, Bortoleto, Mercedes, and Williams. I like it. I like it a lot. Not a bad lineup at all. But let's get in here. Let's get into F1 Fantasy Tools because they are fantastic and I love them. Oh, here is Salima. Hi, Salima. What's up? Look at this. All right. So we are rocking and rolling here with, so here's the expected points team. McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Ocon, Hadjar, 195.5 points, expected to gain about 500,000 in budget. But what if we do a budget building team, I hear you ask? Williams, Alpine, Piastri, Leclerc, Albon, Ocon, Behrman. 159.7 points. So that is about 40 points there, guys. If you want to go with budget, which is terrifying. I do not like that. 1 iota. 40 points is a lot. It's a lot for 500,000. So not a huge fan of that. So expected points here. So we've got some different variations going on. We've got, where are we at? You've got Hulkenberg over Hajar. We've got Doohan over Stroll. How far do we have to go down? We have to go down to Team 9 before we get a Sainz team going on here. And that scores 2.5 less points. Not enough for me to go over Albon. Like, I don't really mind. So Sainz is projected to score 2 points less than Albon. I guess they're expecting him to be very good in qualifying, and that's going to hurt him. However, I don't know. I don't know, like, how bad that's going to be. I'm gonna stick with Sainz from what I've seen on the track right now. I don't think it's unnecessarily a bad thing. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Possibility 1. Leclerc, Sainz, Hadjar, Alonso, Hulkenberg, McLaren, RB. I'm assuming that's Racing Bulls. Cost cap 1.6 million. Alonso, Hulkenberg. Oh, wait, no. That's Red Bull. Sorry, I was thinking of Sainz in a Ferrari last year. He'd probably be expensive. I like it. I like it quite a bit. Maybe Hulkenberg down to Bortoleto and Hadjar up to Ocon, Salima. I don't mind that at all. Jainam. Sorry. Hopefully I got that right. What do you think of McLaren, Ferrari, Sainz, Hadjar, Alonso, Bortoleto? That is great. Love it. Sainz, Hadjar, Alonso, Bortoleto, Behrman. Yeah, very good. Very strong lineup. McLaren, Ferrari, Sainz, Hadjar. No 2x possibility there. I mean, not like a strong 2x possibility there. But I don't hate it. Don't hate it one bit. So, nice guy Drew says, all right, I locked in my final team with McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Bortoleto, and Ocon. Thanks for the help. You are welcome, nice guy Drew. Thank you for tuning in, or you can stick around for the next 42 minutes. Not sure what your commitments are, but yeah, happy to help. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you have enjoyed or are enjoying this episode, this live stream, you can subscribe, but like is great. Comments are also great too. So thanks for any help you can spreading the word about the F1 Fantasy channel. Salima says possibility 2, Leclerc, Hulk, Alonso, Hadjar, Ocon, McLaren, Williams. Okay, I'm going to look at this real quick. Leclerc. Oh, Robin, you're on Grid Rivals. You know what? So am I. I'm just trying to out this season. I don't think I'm going to do any content about it because I don't know the game all that well. But I can tell you my lineup for the first race. I have Piastri, Russell, Sainz, Doohan, Bortoleto, and Ferrari. That's my lineup. I can show it to you there. That's my Grid Rivals lineup. If anyone is playing Grid Rivals, I am in the race.com league because I'm not going to, I tried to set up my own league and it was being really finicky. So I was like, I'll just join something. It's fine. So that's where I'm at. Wait, Oscar, Kimi, Carlos. Yeah, I didn't mind it because they were doing the, you got to like kind of overperform your standings on Grid Rivals as far as I understand it. I actually joined their IndyCar league. So that's where we are at. Salima said, sorry, Salima. I prefer possibility 3 because you have 3 very strong assets there. I think I'm going with possibility 2, but I like possibility 2 or 3 for me. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, Robin, that was me on Grid Rivals. I'm not sure if you saw that, but I can just type it. Let me type it in the chat real quick, just in case. Grid Rivals lineup. Pia, Russ, Signs, Do, Bor, Fair. What's a good 50-50 budget builder lineup? If I could pick the best 3 drivers, who are they? Is that just an F1 question, Bert? Because I'd probably go... If we're just talking F1, Bert, it's Verstappen. I know this is a little blasphemous, but I think it's Verstappen, Lando, Leclerc. Did I just exclude Lewis Hamilton off the top 3 list, even though he's a 7-time world champion? I'm a little bit scared that it's just like, he's, like, I don't know. Like, everyone's, like, pinning their hopes on him making a comeback with Ferrari, and it's just like, well, sometimes you don't, like, not everyone is, like, great, like Tom Brady, who can just move over to, yeah, I know. Oh, sorry, Bert. I hope that was okay. Sorry, let's see. Answer me some more questions here. Brendan, what do you think about this team? Max, Carlos, Alonso, Hadjar, Behrman, Ferrari, Racing Bulls. I don't really like Racing Bulls. I'm not going to lie. I don't like double Racing Bulls with Hadjar and I'm fine taking a punt on Hadjar just because he looks a little rapid and he's pretty spicy in F2. He had quite a bunch of wins and he won here last year in F2. So I like that. But double Racing Bulls, Brendan, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure I can go there. So hopefully that helps. Maybe can you get up to Alpine with that lineup if you have to kind of stick with that configuration? But yeah. Chris says, McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Doohan. I really want to avoid Ocon. Worth avoiding? Who would you put in his place? I have Hadjar/Doohan right now. What do you think? Well, Chris, as you can see here, I am in agreement with you. Oh, if it's going to let me. I'm in agreement with you here, Chris. I am off of Haas. We were talking about it earlier in the first poll of the episode, smash or pass on Haas. And I think it was like 80% of us said pass. So I am out. I've got 1.4 million in the bank here. If only it was 1.6 and I could get to Mr. Fernando Alonso. I haven't shown anyone my T3 team yet. And we're 37 minutes away from the deadline. Here is the T3 team squad, by the way, guys. I'm going to keep that on the screen for a little bit here. Piastri, Ocon, Doohan, Behrman, Bortoleto. Maybe that will change now. So, because that doesn't look all that great. So, that's where I'm at there. Mateus, Stroll and Hadjar, or Ocon and Doohan. Oh, man. That's a tough one, Mateus. I don't really like either one of those, but Ocon and Doohan. Salima says the problem is the cost cap in 3 is just 0.1, but 2 is 1.6. I don't know if we need to worry too much about cost cap. It's nice to have. It's like a coin flip. But if you feel strongly about one lineup or the other, I wouldn't let that kind of influence you there. Brandon says, what do you think about this team? Max, Carlos, Alonso, Hadjar, Behrman, Ferrari, Racing Bulls. We just talked about that. Yeah, don't really like double Racing Bulls. Wow, Hammy, I want him to win one more. I think everyone wants Hamilton to win one more. I just don't know if he's gonna. Like, Charles is so good. Like, he's like pretty underrated. So yeah. I just don't know. It's so tough. I'm ready to be wrong. I kind of hope that I'm wrong. But yeah, I just think it's I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't feel great about saying Lewis Hamilton is a top 4 driver on the F1 grid because he's a 7-time world champion, but I guess that's where I'm at in my brain. Okay, what's the T3 team for, Gavin? So, great question, as per usual from everybody in the chat. Switch 25 away from 1,800 subscribers. It would be so cool if I got there before the Australian Grand Prix deadline, guys. So if you're not subscribed, that would really help me out. Just a little tidbit. So any support is appreciated. But so throughout the season, Gavin, we will get these mini leagues that we'll play. Like, you'll have a Chinese Grand Prix mini league where, like, maybe you can win a hat, and 3,000 of us all ran the same team and nobody got a hat because they didn't really think about that. But in Vegas, they had a mini league and you could win like tickets to next year's Grand Prix and stuff like that. And that is really cool. So you have like these opportunities to kind of like be differential with your team, and you get these 6 chips for each team, and you can only play the chips once. However, if you just want to hold out on your T3 team, like say you've got 3 teams, one of them is just tanking, just doing absolutely awful. Just leave it be. No worries. But keep in touch. Follow me on X at F1FantasyEwan, and I will tweet out whenever there is a mini league. Like, we'll get a heads up, and I'll let you know, like, hey, there's going to be a special mini league this week. You can win all these prizes. And then you can take your T3 team that's been sinking, just been in the back of your brain, not doing anything, whatever. Play your Limitless chip that week, and you could be walking home with a bunch of prizes from F1. So that's where the 3 teams kind of come into thinking for me. Some people use it to do different things as well, which I will be doing. I'm kind of like doing it to test things out, see where everything is. My T1 team is the team closest to my heart. The T2 team is kind of like a stats team, and T3 team is just like another experimental, like budget gaining team, points team kind of thing. So that's where I'm at. That's kind of why I use my 3 teams. Just so you know, if you want to build 3 teams, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. So there you go. Burt Macklin. Oh, Burt Macklin, FBI. I went as him one year for Halloween, and everyone just thought I was a cop, which was sad. Just made me think that not enough people appreciate Parks and Rec. So that made me sad, because that is a great, great show. Hajar or Behrman? Behrman or Hajar? Ooh. I think Behrman is probably going to be the better F1 fantasy asset this weekend, just because he's going to be pushing. Hajar might be a little too spicy in qualifying and get himself into Q2, and then we'll see what happens in the race tomorrow. I don't think you can really go wrong with them. If you need to get Hajar to upgrade another driver in your lineup, I would go Hajar. But if budget really isn't a problem for you, I might go Behrman. I know Haas look awful, but weird things happen on Sundays. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure now. Let's see. I just like Hajar on the mic with his engineers. He was actually pretty calm yesterday. Like, from what I've heard about him, he's pretty spicy at times. We'll see what happens on Sunday. I wish I had a superpower where all F1 races were on my regular local time. That'd be nice. But then, I don't know. I kind of wish my superpower was that they were all at 6 a.m. in the morning, because I would just wake up and watch them. And then I could spend the whole day, like, with the fam. That's kind of what I like. Kind of jealous of Americans that get to wake up at like 5, 6 a.m. most of the time and just watch these races, and then they get to go on with their day. Why is everyone underestimating Mercedes? Kimi looked good in FP3. He did look good in FP3. You are correct. Maybe we are kind of ignoring Mercedes a little bit too much. Especially with like the cooler tracks, temperatures tomorrow. Maybe it's worth having a Mercedes lineup. I mean, I've got one here. Could Aston Martin be a good pick for budget-friendly constructors looking at their FPS performance? I'm just kind of in a wait-and-see mode with Aston Martin, to be honest, Jainam. So that's where I'm at. They look better than they did in preseason testing, but that's not very hard to do. So yeah, that's where my head's at. I missed Mateus's question. I have something different now. Antonelli, Sainz, Albon, Duhan, Bortoleto, McLaren, Williams. Triple Williams. I don't mind it. Like I was saying this yesterday, guys, on the, what was I saying? It was on X. Like the top 20 teams. Let's go back. Let's go to F1 Fantasy Tools. Look at this. Let's go back here. The top 20 teams on F1 Fantasy Tools team calculator yesterday were separated by, let's see here. This is the top 20 teams. They are separated by 4 points, less than 4 points. So there is plenty of ways to play this game. Now, if we're looking at this here, it's a lot of McLaren Williams, which is okay. And you kind of have to go pretty far down. Okay, let's see if we can build a non-McLaren lineup, guys. Let's do that, shall we? Okay, look here. Still, a Ferrari-Mercedes lineup is only losing you 10 points. It's not bad. If you want to play it your way, anyone that listens to Planet FPL, James always says this. Play it your way. You'll have a better time. This year, I have been tanking in FPL, but I'm having the most fun I've had in like the 5 or 6 years that I've been playing, because I'm just like making moves off of vibes, like, and then like the second half of the season has been going a little bit better than the first half. Like this week I took a -4 and brought in Holland and Bruno, like for Isaac and Palmer. Why not? Why not? So that's where we're at. Mr. Iceman. Scroll to 100th on the tools page, and all of them are Piastri McLaren. Okay, so just in case anybody knows, this is without McLaren in the lineup. Dahin says, is this your final team? You know what? I've got 27 minutes to go. I might want to make some selections here for my own squad. So if you guys want to get in, like, the last batch of questions, because it is getting to it time. You know what I mean? Like, so, but just a heads up, guys, there's 89 of you guys watching, which is fantastic. And I think the stream only has 30 likes. So if you could just smash that like button, that'd be fantastic. You guys would be doing me a bang up favor. That would be great. Would really appreciate it. Jainam says Red Bull, Williams, Norris, Leclerc, Alonso. Oh, wait, that's Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls, Williams, Norris, Leclerc, Alonso, Duhan, Behrman, or Bortoleto. Behrman or Bortoleto. I'm kind of team Bortoleto at this point. Heroes on a half shell, turtle power. So thank you guys. 37 likes right off the bat. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. Is it worth to save money, and why? I'm not sure, Ernst. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I have 1.4 million in the bank with my T1 team, and that feels appropriate. I think anything more than like 2 million is kind of leaving some points on the table, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But you also don't have to max out your budget. So I think if you're looking at like 3 million, you can definitely upgrade someone in your team. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. Robin is back in the chat. What is up? Hajar and Kimmy, or Duhan and George. Doing in George there, because I think that's where we're at. Has anyone had any luck, by the way, if you can let me know, changing their T2 and their T3 and T3 team on the desktop? Because mine has been glitching all week. Every time I try to, it just doesn't let me. I'm looking at it right now. I can do my T1 team. That's fine. But it is not a fan of the other stuff. So that's where I'm at. Where are we? Where are we now? Okay, I'm going to just quote this real quick. 25 minutes to go till the deadline. Come and join us. F1 Fantasy. I really appreciate you guys joining me on the stream. Actually, this has been fantastic. It's been well worth waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch some FP3 and get to chit chat F1 Fantasy with you guys. Really, really appreciate it. Yes, I think I said Bortoletto, right? Ginem? Sorry, I thought I did. Mr. Iceman says, literally did the same in FPL. To Kirkes, Bruno, and the Iceman for -4, which is crazy because even our F1 teams are nearly identical. Insert Spider-Man meme. There we go. Colin says, do you think I can have Alonso and Hulk in my team? I think they will do good in mixed conditions during the race. Alonso for sure. I mean, he's done more wet races than probably anyone on the grid. So that's something there. I don't know about Hulk. I'd rather go Bortoletto. I think he's going to start pretty far back, and maybe we just pick up a couple of DNFs. We'll see. He finished the most F2 races out of anyone that raced at least 18 races more. Was that a sentence? If he finished the most F2 races out of any driver who completed 18 races in F2 last season. There we go. I can still put a sentence together. That is good news because we are rocking about 3 hours now since I woke up. Burt Macklin, FBI. Prediction for the race. 1-3 pole, fastest lap. How many safety cars? Safety cars, 2. Fastest lap, Charles. Lando, Charles, Max, 1, 2, 3, Pole, Charles. There we go. So, I think that's what I put on the rotoballer.com article for the Australian Grand Prix preview. You should go check that out. All the clicks. Give me them clicks. Zain Bulaki. What is up, sir? What is my team? Thank you for asking. Ferrari, Mercedes long-term, or McLaren Williams? So I am actually going to go on the F1 app. I'm going to lock in my 3 teams. Sorry. And then we will go over them for the final 20 minutes, and I will answer everybody's questions as they come in. I don't think I've missed a single question. If I have missed your question, I'm very sorry. Post it again. I will make sure to answer it. Juan Jose Sanchez Villalon. Sorry. What do you think of Bortoletto instead of Ocon? I like it. I've been giving him the nickname Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Hero and a Half Shell, because it sounds like it should have been the 5th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So go with that. Have I considered Gasly? I have considered Gasly, but he's at a weird price point where like he's close enough to get to Sainz, and like Sonoda and Alonso are down there. Alpine have been like a little bit sketchier this weekend, and it's kind of thrown me off a little bit. So I think Gasly's going to be a great option across the season. But I think for this race, I'm just going to like take a little bit of a wait and see approach. Mr. Iceman says, do you mind showing us your predictions in the app or desktop? You forgot about that maybe. My 2x chip is on Bortoletto going out in Q1. Oh, snap. Yes, I do have an F1 predictor league. F1 predict, this little thing here. Oh, God. Because it's green. It catches the green screen that I use. Yes. Okay. I can go over that as well, Mr. Iceman. Hit me up in 5 minutes, Mr. Iceman, to do that again. I'm just going to go through these questions, set my lineups, and then maybe it'll calm down a tiny bit. Have you considered Gasly? Yes, but not this weekend. Sainz and Alonso or Albon and Stroll? Sainz and Alonso, Graham. Jovan, Ferrari, Mercedes, or McLaren, Williams? That's tough. You're going to have to maybe give me a little bit more context there, Jovan, because that's going to affect the rest of your lineup. Right now, the Sims, this sim right here is without McLaren. I took them out. So all the Sims are saying McLaren Williams. Just a heads up there, Jovan. Nick Thomas, I've had no problem changing all my 3 teams on my laptop for last week. That was not always the case last year. Good to know. I guess it's just my thing that's bugging out. I saw Pot Pan Man was trying to do one on his channel as well. So yeah, he was also having that same problem. So I don't know. Maybe it's just, I guess I'm on Chrome, but I don't know. Will Russ finish ahead of Sainz? Will Albon finish ahead of Kimi? Russell will finish ahead of Sainz. There's no doubt. No, yeah. Both Mercedes are going to finish ahead of the Williams. That's not really in consideration. Unless like Antonelli has like a big off or something like that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Thank you for your question, Jason. Appreciate it. Luke Andrews, thinking Mercedes has a good weekend, contemplating Bortoletto, Duhan, Behrman, Antonelli, Russell, plus Williams/Ferrari. Feels a bit different. What are your thoughts? I mean, if you think Mercedes is going to have a good weekend, maybe just, I mean, you can get the triple. You can go the triple if you want. Put your money where your mouth is, look. Come on. Ferrari, you can get Mercedes instead of Ferrari. You could upgrade Behrman to, you could maybe do Behrman to like Alonso with that lineup maybe. So if you want to go all in, let me know. Rishi said, is choosing best 2 drivers good idea or 2 best constructors? 2 best constructors for points, Rishi, because they are going to score. If Lando is 29 million and McLaren is 30 million, they're getting Lando's score and Piastri's score, and you're only paying 1 million more. So that's where I'm at. Even though you could 2x Lando and he would double the points, just in general, especially with pit stop points, I'm going constructor over driver. Just a heads up there. Kyle says, Ewan. What is up, Kyle? Jovan says, Ferrari, Mercedes, Russell times 2. That's actually the lineup that I started on when we were going through that, when the game launched, Jovan, so I like it a lot. Graham says, sorry, I miswrote. Sainz and Stroll or Albon and Alonso. Well, now you've got me all on a tizzy, Graham. Oh, God. Stroll really wants... Sainz and Stroll, Graham. Jovan says, Ferrari, Mercedes, Russell times 2, plus 4 budget picks. McLaren, Williams, Piastri times 2, Sainz plus 3 budget picks. Well, I am on McLaren, Williams, Piastri times 2, Sainz plus 3 budget picks. Jovan, so I cannot be dishonest with you about that, but if Fuma starting to consider Alpine and Williams now, just toss your phone on the other side of the room, Fuma, because now it is ultimate tilting time. So, you know, do what you need to do, but yeah, it is tough. It's tough out here right now. So let's see here. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to bring the mic over here a little bit. It's going to make sure that my team is okay. Because I'm going to make sure that Piastri, you know what, guys? I'll just do this with you. I was going to do it separately on another on another tab, but I can just do it with y'all. So let's go here. Okay. If I bring it over here, hopefully it'll still work. It does. It does still work. Great success, guys. A couple of questions here. Jovan says, also, can you explain how budgeting really works? Find it quite hard to wrap my head around it. Like, I would like to keep Williams, for example, for one round to increase in price and sell them or hold them. Depending on how they do this weekend, Jovan, you can... I don't mind Williams for the long term. However, I'm also thinking that, like, Williams is top of the midfield. McLaren is top of the other constructors. So you can kind of move down if you need to. Also, we've got the wild card, so everything goes horribly wrong in China next week. We'll just activate it there. Fuma says that juicy 1 million price gain, though. Yeah. That's true. Luke Andrews says, haha, I think I'm setting myself up for failure if I go 4 times per stadium. Fair enough. Can't blame a guy for trying. All right, so I'm going to go over here. Let's build my lineup. Shall we build my lineups, guys? Because we are 15 minutes away. I can't believe the time has already flown by so fast. It's been so much fun. But yeah, like I said, join me tomorrow, 1 hour after the Grand Prix. I will be back with the cool down room. Kind of doing a more chill look at the race and stuff like that. All right, so I really want to keep Piastri and the smooth operator, Carlos Sainz, in my team. So the best team for that, according to F1 Fantasy Tools, is McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Sainz, Doohan, Hadjar, and Ocon. For some reason, I didn't realize I could get rid of Bortoleto. Or Doohan. Ugh. I really like Bortoleto and Hadjar, though. I'm not totally sold on Doohan, I will admit. So I'm going to take Doohan out, and I'm going to put in Ocon. I'm going to have a little exposure to Haas. T1 is locked in. Let me... I'm going to just take a screenshot here, guys, because I gotta post it on the socials. Fuma. Piastri, Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso, Bortoleto with Alpine, Williams. Looking pretty nice. You are a brave man, sir. You are a brave man, Fuma. Alpine and Williams? That's a little bit... My stomach is empty, but I'm not sure even I have the appetite to go with Alpine and Williams like that. Juan says, what do you think? Sainz, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Hadjar, McLaren, Ferrari. If you're risking it for the biscuit, go for it, but I do not like not having a top 4 team driver in your team. Do I want Bortoleto and Stroll for the rain? I think Lance Stroll's rain expertise is one of the more overhyped things in F1 lore. I think he got the pole in Turkey and then just sank all the way back down the field. So I think I believed that hype last year in Brazil, and then the guy just drove through the gravel and got stuck. So, or maybe it was another race where it rained. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just out on Stroll. The vibes are bad. I don't like it. I'm not about him. So, Petter says, morning, guys. Petter, where have you been, sir? Have you been sleeping? That's ridiculous. So, we've been up. We've been at 'em. We've been... So, is Sainz over Albon essential? Nothing is essential in F1 Fantasy. Except winning. Winning is everything. No, FPL Bobo. No. I mean, I like Sainz. I just prefer Sainz. I think he's just a better driver. Seems way more comfortable in the car. And that's just my opinion. What is my final team, please? I will. Let's hop on over. Sorry, guys. Let me do this. The final team. Dun, 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 dun. This is the squad down here. Oh my goodness. We're doing this again, are we? There's this one browser that always causes me problems. Let me see here. There's the qualifying data. Here's the old data. Interact. Okay. The final team, guys. Let me write it down for you because this is just Piastri, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Ocon, McLaren, Williams. Final squad. So that's where I'm at, guys. That's going to be my squad. I'm supposed to tweet this out because people like that. The lineup is locked for the Australian Grand Prix. Little bit of fence sitting going on, but I am a fan nonetheless. See y'all on the other side. F1 Fantasy. Good luck, everyone. Anyone else still around? Anyone else still kind of awake? As soon as I started to type that, I started to fade a little bit. Yes, Fuma, I do mean when he went off in the warm-up lap. Okay, lineup is... I guess that doesn't mean locked, huh? Lock. Little bit of fence sitting going on, but I am a fan of that. Good luck, everyone. Blah, 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 blah. Post. We are in. Oh, thank you, Enzorb. That is fantastic. I don't know. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Not necessary, but always welcome. Oh, predictor time. Yes. Sorry, Iceman. I have a league. If you look it up, F1 Fantasy pole position predictor. Okay, team 1 is locked. I'm gonna go to the predict. All right. Burt Macklin, I'm too excited. Does anyone remember the Disney commercial with the little kid like rolling around like they were going to Disney the next day? And he was like, I'm too excited to sleep. Yeah, that's how I've been for about 4 straight days. Baldo says, yes, I'm always awake. The grind never stops. #bless. More power to you, Baldo. All right, question 1. I'm just going to go through the F1 predict here. Luke Andrews, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, going Russell ×2. Let's go, Luke. I am full on cheering for Russell for you now. All right, predict a podium for the Australian Grand Prix. Norris, Leclerc, Piastri. I guess that's what I put. Question 2, who will take pole position? I've got Lando Norris there. I guess I'm going against what I've said. Question 3, who will qualify highest? Leclerc or Hamilton? I'm going with Charles Leclerc. Question 4, how far will Bortoleto get in qualifying? I've got him going out in Q1. Question 5, which team will be ahead in the championship? McLaren or Ferrari? I'm going with McLaren. Question 6, who will finish ahead in the race? Antonelli or Lawson? Going Antonelli. Question 7, who will finish ahead? Duhan, Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto, or Isaac Hadjar? I've got Behrman, but now that he's been bad, I'm going to go with Duhan, just because he seems a little bit more reliable. Will an Aussie finish in the top 10? I said yes. Question 9, will there be a safety car? I said yes. Question 10, how many classified finishers? I said 16. And I am going to apply my 2 times chip to will an Aussie finish in the top 10, because I think that, yeah, that's what's going to happen. All right, guys, let me keep rocking and rolling here a little bit as I finish building my teams. Aston Martin. There was a team here earlier that was pretty spicy, and it left. I guess I'll keep this T2 team with Aston Martin and Haas, because why not? With Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, and Behrman. And the T3 team with Piastri. Let's have a non-McLaren lineup. Ferrari, Mercedes, Piastri, Ocon, Duhan, Hadjar, and Hulkenberg. Okay. Hadjar, and I'm still going Bortoletto. Sorry, Hulkenberg. Alrighty, guys. I am back. Zane says, I've just changed to Merc Ferrari. Last second change. It's okay. It's okay. We're all here together. We'll be here tomorrow. Back at, oh God, what time? An hour after the Grand Prix. Prasanjit says, Leapers 1 going McLaren, Alpine, Piastri, Gasly, Alonso, Stroll, Duhan. Mr. Iceman, nice predictions. I know I won't win. Juan says, what do you think? Sainz, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Hadjar, McLaren, Ferrari. I think I already responded to this, Juan, but I don't really like not having a top 4 driver. A top 4 team driver. Leapers 1 is going McLaren, Alpine, huh? I mean, he is the reigning champ, so I can't say that he doesn't know what he's doing, because he took home the entire thing last year. But yeah, I mean, what is that? What's that about? I don't have any Red Bull in any of my lineups, which is kind of going against what I was saying earlier. But that's where I'm at. That's what we're doing. 3 minutes to the deadline. Alpine for the rain safety. I mean, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, they had a good Brazil, but is that really enough to go with that? Ocon, Hadjar. I don't know about Stroll either. Stroll? Yeah. I don't want to be cheering for Lance Stroll. Will you let me scroll down? Why? Why are you the way you are? Let's see here, guys. Can I do a window capture? And what if I do this? Oh, goodness. If I do window capture, can I get... I don't even know. I cannot. But regardless, my team is this. This is my team. Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Ocon, Mercedes, and Alpine. I'll be working on this. Streaming technology over the next 24 hours before we go on to the next one, which will be 1 hour after the deadline, or after we are done with the Australian Grand Prix. Thank you. Have a good call. Yes, thank you, Juan. Appreciate everybody joining in. We're kind of down to it at this point. Thank you for everyone that has been around. Before you go, hit the like. We got 70 people in here right now, 67 people in here, only 44 likes. We've had over 1,500 views on the entire live stream. So just drop a like right before you guys get out of here. Get it over 50. That would be awesome. You don't have to subscribe. All you have to do is like, and that would be greatly appreciated as I slightly freak out about my teams with 0 minutes to go. We are done, folks. We are locked in. You can put it on the board. That is where I'm at. I have made my bed. And yeah, that's it. Let's see how well I timed this out. Let's race. Oh, right on the bat. 2 hours, right on the bat. 2 likes away, guys. 2 likes away from 50 before you get out of here. Come on. Who wants to be the one? Who wants to be the one that gets me over 50 likes? That would be super duper appreciated. So, but yes, good luck, everyone. Thank you for watching. Hopefully everything has been fun. That was super fun time liking and talking F1 fantasy with y'all as we dive into qualifying. So I will get out of here. I will leave you guys to it. And once again, let me see. Oh my goodness. Where's my mouse? Yes, it's been a little hectic, but yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 1 hour after Grand Prix. I will check you guys out. Then hopefully all of our lineups have scored the most points in the race and we're all #1 in the world, especially me. But thank you for checking me out over the last 2 hours. It's been super fun, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll be back with a preview and more deadline live streams throughout the entire season. So once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.